Guys, and welcome to another video from Code Review.io. In this video we will create a momentum clone. After creating a new Flutter app, we will install internationalization package. This will be needed if we want to parse the date. We start by creating the initialization for the app. It will be created the stateless widgets, and that will import our homepage. I just added the theme text. For the text theme, I said to get the text theme or apply the body color and display color. That's to prevent every time I want to put the color for these, because widely we will use only the white color for now for all the text. I created a class called note and a class called code, and here we will have the ID and title and completed, and the same for code. We will have the ID code and the URL and the other, and all of them will be later initialized. First in the init state. So in my stateful in our stateful widget here in the home page, we start in the init state. The first thing is that we bring the random to generate a random index. And here we will bring the random image, and the random image is actually a variable that initialized here. As you see, it's a string where it gets all the images, and that images, it will be the array of string of all the images that we have. I will show you later that dummy data. And then we put the random and we say next integer, bring me the full length of these images. Will be the same for the codes. So first I will initialize all the codes, bring some dummy data for the codes, and here what I will do is also bring the random code. Random code, it will be type of code. Bring all the codes that we have here, and then bring one of the codes every time. Then the other thing is that get all the nodes, and here we will have a list of nodes, and then we will say, okay, we initialize it with the node with one dummy node. Then I will have also another list called uncompleted nodes, which bring all the nodes that is not completed, and then we need to cast it to a list in this case, because this will return an iterable. The same will happen for the completed nodes in this case, but only the condition will be different. The other thing that we need also the message. Message is a type of string that we're actually, so the message here is down of the clock, where we say like good morning and good afternoon or good evening. That could be also translated by the internationalization package. Then we will have the time, and in this case we will have the formatted datetime. We send that datetime now, and we ask to format it, and this will check it as a string. We will check this one later, and then we will bring timer periodically, and we will say for every second we will change the time. So actually this one should not be for every second, this should be for every minutes. So for every 1 minute we will change the time, because our clock will be only the hours and minutes. So now we will go to more in the widgets and how to create all the widgets together with interaction, with how to add the widgets, and also creating all the actually let's go first to greeting message. So this greeting message, if we go to it, it will bring the date, time now. It will check if the hour is more than 0 and then less than 12, then good morning, good afternoon in case of, otherwise it will be the good evening. The formatting date time, it will take this from the internationalization as you can see, and then we will format the daytime as hours and minutes, and we ask to format the daytime now. Then we'll have another helper function. It's called isWidescreen, and that will check only for the Mac OS application, is for Windows, or is for the web. So the first thing we will do in the build, we bring the width, and that will be the media query and getting the size and the width. Then we'll have the container as a main child. That's because we need to have the background on the screen. So we will bring the box decoration, get the decoration image, and get the network image, and that will bring us to our random variable image, and that's what we created in the top after setting the state in the init function. Then we bring the box width as a cover, the opacity, and then we will have the child as a center, and bring the center because we need to adapt all from the top to the bottom. So I put center here to make sure that it will be always centered in the screen. Then bring the child as column. Here I will have the sized height, that will make sure that will push the other element, which is the time. In this case, I'll bring the time string, text style, and font size. Here I use is widescreen function and to check the font size in this case, because in the web we want it, or in the macOS desktop we want it to be a bit bigger here. And that will be the font weight. Here is the same. You see that I removed, actually I was putting here the color, but I removed this because now it will be implemented from the theme. Then we will have the message, and the message actually will take, for example, is that we have two variables. One is for message and the other one is for the name, and it will say in the end, good morning, Sam or Tom or anyone. Then we will have adjustable elements or adjustable font size here, where we detect the screen size, and then we will have different font size, sorry. And then we will have couple height here just to make sure that it will not be stick to each other, the text and the other text here. And then what we will have the print, what is in your mind today, where let the user have the ability to add couple notes. And then I will round it up with the text form field. So the text form field where our input will be, and I round it up with the container because I need the padding, and then we can use the symmetric to have the horizontal padding in this case. I will use also the margin, and it's very important, this margin, because in widescreen it will be really annoying and small, and yeah, and it will be stick to the, even if we have a couple padding here, it will be stick to the top element, so that's not a good case. Now the most important key here is the text form field. So the text where we have to put the notes, I give it a key as a note title. We will have the controller, title controller. I also have on field submitted. This is where we actually add notes. Then we will have auto correction and autofocus. This depends to you. This is more about how to have the elements. The cursor color is here important to put it as a white, otherwise it will be blue, I guess. Keyboard type and the show cursor, that's very important, or maybe it's more nice to have, because otherwise you cannot know if this one is focused or not. By the way, autofocus is always true, so when you ever open the app it will be always focused. That gives us the ability to add directly the notes. For the styling it will be also the font size manipulation here, and then we will have couple decoration for the input to make sure that the input will match our design. So the border will be underlined input border, focus border, and also the color on the border side, where we have check the widescreen, and then we will check the width. And in this case we don't really want the text input for the show all, and then for hold this row to be really wide in the widescreen, so in the web or desktop apps. So I multiply it by 2, and that's, for me, it will be more enough. Then we will bring the row, and then here we will have the show text text button. So we will have two text button. One is to show all, and one for to show completed or uncompleted. And in this case we will just manipulate the state by saying whenever it will be pressed, it will be show all. It will take the previous one and reverse it. That will be the same the same for completed, but here we will do some manipulation for the text. In case of this completed, we will say uncompleted. That will be text indicating that what's gonna be the next behavior of the text button. Then we will have the flexible. Here we will have less child view or list view, where we need to scroll all the nodes that we have. In such a case, as we discussed before, a semantic child count, it will get the semantic child count in this case, and it will determine if we want to have how many the childs of the elements, because until now we don't know yet. So we will bring the show completed. Then we will build node tile, and it will all do the same. If show all, it will take also all nodes. Otherwise, it will be uncompleted by default. So all the uncompleted by default will be our initial nodes. I will go back to this later. Then we will have text button. I round it up with the text button. I still don't use the onPressed, but this text button is this one is for the quote. Actually, we can put a key for it. It will be more indicatable to know what does it mean. So we bring the random quote, and then we bring the quotes. This is our class where we say random quote is type of quote, and also we bring the author to it. And in such a case, it will be more about styling. Go back to the build node tile. Build node tile will take the width for media query, and then we will have more. Let's say we'll bring the container to have a bit of padding, and the white screens also, and then we will bring the list tile. So whenever we hit tab, we bring our on tab with the node that has been selected. And then we print the node title and nodes completed. And in this case, whenever it's completed, we will bring the icon circle. Otherwise, it will be outlines as you see here. The color of the nodes, it will be white, and this is not gonna taken from the theme, so you have to put this otherwise. So I think that's it. So our app is ready. I think we are ready to test it, and let's see how it's gonna work. So our app is running, and what we need to do is test it a bit. So let's say we try to put something. So here we will hit something cool. We have twice, and we can select here one of them. It will remove it from this, because this one it will be only the uncompleted list. And then whenever we hit completed, we will have it here. And we can go to show also unpack all of them, actually to show all of them. So here we have all of them that completed and all uncompleted nodes. I realized also that removing unchanged was not really working fine, because it will be if you remove unchanged, then you will have 2 times hit the button to in this case for the field submitted to have this value changed. So I put this one back, and then I also want to show you that what will happen in case if we add nodes. So on add nodes, that we bring the date time, and then we say microseconds since epoch. And this case will bring us a kind of like this number, and this we will use it as a random ID. We put the value that comes from add nodes, which is from on field submitted, and then we will put false, and it's by default false because it's just created now. And then we bring the cloned nodes. I'll bring all the nodes, and I will add the clone nodes here, and I will add this one in the beginning, and then we will set a state for all. So we set a state to show all and to show completed, and we will set a state for clone nodes, and again we set state for completed and uncompleted, because this will make sure that all this all the lists will be updated. And in the end, I will bring the title controller, and I will say clear. This will clear the input field. Also, whenever we hit the click here, we will run on tab, and this will bring up the same kind of like the same behavior how we update the nodes. we bring the cloned nodes, clone all of the nodes, and bring the node that it has been here. We will mark it as completed, and in this case we will mark it the opposite actually. So you can clone, you can set it or not, something like this. And then we will have the index. We'll bring the index where the ID is equal to my node that has been selected, and then we will set the clone nodes index to this. So which means that the order of the nodes will stay the same. Even if you hit the second one, it will not change the order. And in this case, in the end, we will set a state for all of them because we need to update all the list again. Create the web application of our app, and also to create the macOS desktop. So we need to enable them. So you will just need to say Flutter config, and then you say enable web. That will enable the web, or you can say macOS, and that will enable the macOS for desktop. The same if you want to enable it for Windows. After that, you will need to create. So you will hit create with the dot. That will create the web and macOS application. And after that, you just need to choose which platform that you want to run the app. In case of you want to for Chrome, it will be Flutter run Chrome. That will be the same if you want to have for macOS. So this will run the app and bring us our app as macOS. So that will be our app, and we can do the same. The name. Let's say create for web. So actually, for web, I guess you need to run Flutter run Chrome. So we have the Chrome browser is opened, and then we will have the same as before. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this one was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and share and hit the like button. Thank you. See you next time.